In this segment, we're going to talk about the InSync WebUI settings and the user credentials that can be configured. So to access the settings, you click the pull-out menu on the left side, and you'll have links to all the different pages for the settings. The top one is configure detectors. And that's how InSync and how you configure the detection zones, how they're drawn, if there's external detection, loops, radar, anything like that, that's all configured through the configure detectors, and that'll be covered in a future webinar on best practices for that and how to configure that. One question I did get earlier relating to configure detectors and camera views was how often should camera views be reviewed and how often should they need to be cleaned? Our general recommendation for cleaning of the cameras is to do it once every 1 to 2 years. What the cleaning entails is simply just wiping down the lens of the camera to get off any sort of grime or salt that had built up on the camera. As far as reviewing the camera views, we recommend checking them at least once a month to make sure no cameras have shifted or moved or anything like that. That way you can catch those things and make detection zone adjustments or shift the camera back if needed. Okay, so let's go through the settings. So the first one below the configure detectors is the rename phases. And this is used for the reporting functionality of the InSync WebUI. So if you ever wanted to download the history viewer or statistics into a CSV file, you can do that and you can customize how the phasing is labeled in those reports. So if you have any non-standard intersections with directions that may not apply to your typical north, south, east, west, you can customize that in the rename phases setting page. The next setting page is for the GPS coordinates. So InSync utilizes the GPS coordinates for a couple things, and most importantly, InSync changes its camera detection algorithm between day and night. So it needs to know when the sunrise and sunset times are. So it uses the GPS coordinates to compute those times in order to know when sunrise and sunset occurs. If you need to adjust the GPS coordinates, they're actually done through Central Sync, and it gives you a notification at the top if you do want to make any additional adjustments, they need to be made through Central Sync, which that'll be covered in a future webinar, how exactly to make those changes. The next setting page is for the time synchronization, or the NTP server. So InSync utilizes an IP to synchronize its time against for all its intersections. So they all are running off the same time. This page is nice because it allows you to not only test the NTP server to see if it's working properly, it allows you to manually sync the time across all the intersections or save a new NTP server IP if something's changed. I did get a question earlier regarding time synchronization. It was actually about controller time, and I get this question a lot: is why can't InSync sync off the controller's time? So the controller and InSync are always on the same time frame. Well, the reason behind that is due to the InSync architecture and how InSync communicates with the controller. The mechanism in which InSync communicates to the controller is solely through detector calls. So because of that limited communication mechanism to the controller, InSync doesn't have any way to read the time off or sync the time off the controller. And that's the reason it uses an external NTP server address. A lot of times the controller will be synced against the same NTP server as InSync is. So in a lot of cases, they're going to be synced off the same time frame anyways. But that's kind of the technical answer as far as why InSync doesn't grab the time off the controller and uses an N2P server. Okay. The next one down is the corridor view designer. So this allows you to customize the corridor view and how it displays when you go up to your corridor button and select corridor view. You can customize the order that intersections display, as well as where the camera views and which camera views display. The next setting is for the portal designer. The portal designer lets you customize the portal links on the corridor portal page. Each device needs an appropriate IP address that links it to that respective device. And can be customized. So if you want the order of intersections to be different or additional devices to be added to there, you can customize that however the agency deems fit. The next setting is for InSync maintenance. InSync maintenance has a variety of different options in here. If you want to restore configuration from a certain state, InSync automatically saves configurations when they've changed. So if you want to go back to a specific time frame, you know, a week ago or a month ago that you know worked well, or you can do that and you can restore that configuration. Likewise, you can also save and archive if you want to save an archive of the current configuration, as well as if you need to update the software of the system. There's a few other buttons in this page, but I'm not going to get into too much detail on each of those. You can look that up in the help menu included in the InSync Web UI. I did just get a question regarding the corridor views. And the question was, can you have multiple corridor views for your system? And the answer is yes. You can customize one corridor view per intersection, meaning that if you have 10 intersections on your corridor, you could have up to 10 customized corridor views. And that goes with the portal page as well. You can customize that per intersection, and you can have up to the amount of intersections on your corridor. The next menu down is the account menu. In here, you've got two different pages. The top being the invalid logins, which InSync logs each time there is a invalid login, whether invalid username password was entered in there, or someone was attempting to log into the system that shouldn't be. That's logged in there, and it's the IP address is reported for that. Below that is the Edit Users page. In here, you can customize the user access rights. So basically, what each user has access to, whether it's a view-only credential or an administrator credential, that can all be customized in here. By default, InSync creates an administrator username and a view-only username. Those can be customized, or you can add additional ones for each user or each credential level. Finally, there is the help menu that I referenced earlier. If you click the help menu, it brings up a nice help interface. You can search the help. You can view. There's some images. If you wanted to refer to what I described earlier as far as the process data on the camera views, you can do that. Let's see here. you can view exactly what each thing on that camera view means through the help menu. So if you ever need to refer to, you forgot what one of the areas of the screen, what it meant, you can always refer back to the help menu and it'll tell you exactly what it is. And that's always accessed through the bottom left of the web UI. And that is everything for settings and account user settings. So I appreciate your time today, and if you ever have any questions about the web UI or anything else, you can always contact us here at our office phone number, or you can also reach out to me directly at grant@rhythmtraffic.com. Thanks, guys.